Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Corso. So I tried to do that as quietly as possible so I wouldn't wake up my baby. Look at my queen maker. Look at her. Okay, so I know that I'm breaking my rule of no dogs on the couch. I tried. For the most part, we do try to be good about it. But yeah, it's not always the easiest thing to do. I will say we don't let puppies on it. So that's a good thing. But anyway, yeah, look at how sweet. Oh, turn it off quickly. Quick. Okay, we're trying not to get demonetized. Look at this. Look at this sweet baby. Look at this sweet baby. Oh, look at that pretty face. He's a pretty boy. She's a pretty girl. No, just stay. Just stay, my lovely. Will you just stay? You just stay. You just rest your pretty head. You just rest your pretty head. My sweet baby. My sweet queen maker. And your booty. Here. I'm gonna cover you back up, lovely. Yeah, you just lay your head. You just rest your pretty little head. You're your baby.
You spoiled.
No, Blondie, no. No.
I'm gonna give her a kiss.
Blondie, go back to bed. Go back to bed, Blondie.
She's like, I want to give you a kiss.
Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Go night-night.
She's like,
She's like, really? Really?
Like, whatever, man, I guess. Look at Velocity.
What's that pretty girl?
Do you see her in a ball over there?
Yeah. Well, because Preacher was up here, so she literally had to take up the smallest piece of couch possible.
Velocity! Hey.
Ooh, look at that side eye.
She's like, whatever. Velocity! She's like,
Velocity!
Come here, Velocity.
What's wrong with you?
You're gonna mess up the Blondie. She's gonna get there.
So, the barking is my Mortigan outside. Nirvana is in heat. She's in like the later stages of heat, which basically means that, yeah, she's in the heat of the heat. And so that makes her more appealing to the gentlemen's. And so he's out there just crying. We had him in the kennel room, he's crying. If we have him inside, he sits outside of the door and cries. So now we have him outside and he's crying.
He jumps on the windowsill.
He jumps on the windowsill of the kennel room. I mean,
we made a joke that she's Rapunzel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's officially Rapunzel.
Rapunzel.
Yeah, and he's like, let your golden locks down. Anyway.
What is she looking at? What are you looking at?
My bird, probably.
She's looking at. What are you doing? Clarice? Oh, Blondie.
Blondie, no, you look so cute. So, I have big news. As I had predicted, Nirvana officially moved up in her rankings now that they've calculated to November 30th. Now, she still has her points from December, but I don't think that she got a ton of points in December. So, as of now, Nirvana is the number one Cane Corso in Texas, both, male and female. She's the number one Cane Corso in Texas, which is like, I can't even tell you guys how proud I am to have produced that. So a lot of people out there that have been working real hard with their dogs. It wasn't an easy thing. And so I just want to put that out there, that, she did it and we're very proud of her. And big respect to everybody else that's out there, with their dogs and achieving big things. And then on top of that, she also moved up in the national rankings. So originally she was number 30 in the breed. Now she is officially number 12 nationally with all males and females. And she's the third female in the nation. So there's 2 other females that have more points than her currently. So she's number 3 in number 3 in the nation for females, number 12 in the nation for both males and females, and she's number 1 in Texas for both males and females. So she's just a really phenomenal dog. She's super, super top notch. And I've actually spoken to another breeder. Funny story, he was out there showing with Nirvana. I think he beat her, I want to say a couple times, but it could have been once, but I think it was a couple times. And then I think she beat him as well. But he's a very nice dog, and he's a black dog. And so I've spoken with the breeder, and he was, I congratulated his dog and asked him if he was for stud, and he's like, yeah. And so I told him that I wanted to use him on Nirvana, and he was really happy about it. He was like, yeah, I was hoping you would ask that. So and apparently he saw Nirvana. He was showing his dog, he was owner handling his dog, saw Nirvana and really liked her and was complimenting her. So, and he even said that he had walked up to my handler and was talking about Nirvana to her. So that was really cool. So instead of breeding her to Mad Mortigan for her first breeding, I want to breed her to that male instead. Now, the only issue is this gentleman lives pretty far away from me. And so that could prove to be problematic. One second, I'm going to have to delete some video because I'm running out of space. So this is going to end. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix that. So anyway, we are going to try to coordinate with this guy to make sure that we can do the breeding with his dog. But it's just really going to come down to trying to match schedules. He does live kind of closer to where Reese is. And so it's possible that maybe what we'll do is, we'll send Nirvana up to Reese, and then maybe they can meet up. Because I'd prefer to do a live breeding and not do artificial insemination if at all possible. But, like I said, we'll see what happens. On the off chance that it doesn't work out that way, there's one other male that I like that I might try to use. But I actually want to potentially use that male on Zoe. I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But there's a couple really nice males that have become available to me because basically there had been a lot of slander. And I mean, I'm sure you guys know, there had been a lot of slander made about me and my kennel by just kind of petty, angry people originally. And now that people are seeing that I'm not like people are claiming that I am, that I do in fact health test my dogs, that I am active in the community, people have come and basically apologized to me and are complimenting my dogs and willing to work with me. And that's pretty cool. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I also got word from the other breeder in Europe that I was looking at a male, and she thinks that the female is pregnant. She won't know until the 28th of this month whenever she gets them checked, but I have a first pick male on that litter. And then there's another male that I think they're 4 weeks old right now, out of a really nice male that I really liked and I wanted to use for stud, but then the breeder told me that I could have a pick of the litter male out of his first litter. And he just wants to retain breeding rights on the dog, which is cool. And so, and he's a black male. And so anyway, so that dog will be ready to go pretty soon. So a lot going on here at Senza Tempo, a lot of progress being made. And I think it's a really great story for people who are trying to achieve something and maybe it's not going as easy as you wanted it to, or maybe you're getting some pushback. And I think that it's a wonderful story, an example of how hard work and preservation pays off. I did a couple years of being, made fun of and joked about and this and that. And I just stayed true to who I am, and I stayed true to what I know, and I continued to work hard, and my hard work paid off. And now, we are breeding dogs that are really being looked at in the community in a very positive light. I'm sorry, I got distracted because my chicken is acting really weird outside. That's horrible. Oh my God, I'm not going to tell y'all what I just saw. I'm just going to leave that alone. So anyway, I, like I said, I'm just super excited for those of you that are on my Instagram. And if you're not on my Instagram, I highly suggest that you be on there. There are things that I talk about there that I don't always talk about, that it's not always possible to talk about or even show on my YouTube channel, as far as like pictures of the dogs. And I took screenshots of the listings of Nirvana, her placement in the nation and in the state today. I also took some pictures of El Jefe stacked up, and he is just you guys, he's an amazing dog. That's all I can tell you. An amazing dog. You guys know what I talked about with Nirvana. Amazing dog. And she is. But this dog, he's better. His head is better than hers. His front is better than hers. One of the biggest issues in our breed right now, well, there's a couple, but in the world where some people can get the rears right, usually you either have a rear or you have a front, not always both. Now, there are some dogs that do, but that's what makes, the biggest of champions, is whenever you do have both. Well, he has a top line, he has a rear, he has a front, he has a head, he has body length, he's not square, he's a rock solid dog. The only thing that I'm noticing, which I personally think that it's my kennels, is the feet. All of my puppies right now, I thought that Suki just had flat feet, but it turns out that I think it's the kennels I'm using, which makes sense because I didn't notice it was Suki until I put her in a kennel. I had her brother for a while, and I had them both in these kennels that I have. And these kennels that I have are industrial kennels, so they're better than your home kennel, because if the dog has an accident, it goes beneath them, right? There are these bars that they stand on. And so if you have a puppy and, maybe I'm out running errands or whatever, and I'm not there to let them out if they need to go, instead of them sitting in their own mess, it goes beneath them. And so they're clean, they're fine. And then you just pull out the trays and you clean the trays. The problem is that the spacing on those metal bars is actually causing the feet to splay. And so what I've been finding is now that Suki has been out more, she's potty trained and she's been out with the rest of the dogs more, her feet are starting to come back up. So I have every confidence that these puppies will, because flat feet are not an issue in my kennel. You guys know me, I'm very honest about all of my dog's faults. And Suki's feet were flat, but I won't say more flat. They're more splayed than anything. But then all of a sudden I noticed all my puppies are right now. All of them that are on those metal things, Velocity, El Jefe, or I'm just going to call him Jefe, Akiro, and Suki. And that doesn't, that's not that's not a coincidence, right? Like that's not, my original Blondie litter, they all had fantastic feet. And Velocity has fantastic feet. So it just doesn't, I truly believe that it is the kennels right now. And so I'm just making sure that they spend more time outside on the gravel, because that's really good for them. On the back of my property, my backyard area, that gravel's really good. And that they spend more time out of the kennel. So they're only in there at night. And so anyway, so it sucks because on one end, you know, I hate that for their feet. But on the flip side, when you're potty training puppies, it gets really tedious every single morning that that they wake up, or if they go to, when they're learning, it's, you know, you can't just have them have, toiletries on themselves, right? Like it's not good. You don't want to be bathing them every day either. And so it's just, it's kind of a weird thing, right? So you need both. But anyway, that's where we're at. But having said that, yeah, that's the only thing I'm noticing about him right now. And honestly, it's not, I don't think that it is going to be an actual issue later on. Whenever I first got Batista, those of you may remember, and you can, if not, you can go down and look at my old Instagram posts from way back with Batista. He had some of the flattest feet I've ever seen. And his pasterns were really bad too. And he came up on his feet and he came up on his pasterns. So I have no doubt that these puppies will as well. But I just thought that I would mention that, and just be, 100%, because I know that if I don't, then, people will say something thinking that somehow they've found something that I didn't notice. So that's where we're at. I hope you guys are having a great day. Once again, super proud of my girl Nirvana. I will be opening up her litter for deposits after she finishes this heat cycle. So once she finishes this heat cycle, I'll probably take a very limited amount of deposits for her. Probably like 3 for males and 3 for females is probably what I'll do. There are not going to be any first pick spots available. I will reserve those for myself until I decide otherwise. And I guess that's it. So, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later.